Good afternoon. Welcome to our afternoon talk show on that the day of the European Commission. So we are welcome to have really a focus for this talk show on what the action and the problem and some issues at least of the EU security that we are going to talk this afternoon. Our talk name, our topics is innovation management, and we are going to speak on this issue with four guests. And I would like first to introduce Mr. Koen Lim, who is Principal Scientific Officer at the Security Research and Industry Directorate. So welcome. Also, we will have two ladies this afternoon with us, and that's not so often at this table, so I would like to mention. First of all, Mrs. Axel Gahn from the Austrian Institute of Technology. She's a research funder and she's working on InnoSec European project. We will know a little bit more about what is InnoSec. And on the other side, Mrs. Cecilia Tatou, who is a consultant for innovation at Alma Consulting Group, who is the coordinator of the InSec European project. So we'll talk about what is InSec as well, and more largely what is the issues on innovation management in security research. And last but not least, Luigi Robuffi, the CEO from European Organization for Security, well known in Brussels, EOS, well known also in Paris. So our subject, innovation management. And maybe my first question will be for you, Koen. What is innovation management view from the EU Commission?
Well, thank you very much. It's a very good question, in fact. But I think before we go into the detail of what is, we need to discuss why do we need something like innovation management, specifically in the security research. Well, security research is something sui generis. It is special. It is not like the other parts of research that the EU is funding. There is a certain reason why we do security research, and that reasons relate immediately to the ability that we need to create to tackle insecurities. So it is a follow-up of the threats, of the needs to create security for everybody effectively. So that's why we devised this thing called security research, and we started with this activity about 12 years ago, in fact, shortly after the American 9/11, as they call that. Now, back then we already realized that security research need to be mission-oriented. It need to be not just research for the fun of doing research, but it has a very strong societal dimension into that. It is at the end, it is the security that we want to provide for the society, for the citizen, for the people on the street or here in the cell. Now, that's why we are looking into a very specific type of research, which we need to go into a mission-oriented type of research. So it is very strongly applied research. It's not generic research. And so that's why we need to link that very strongly to not only the research, but the research through the innovation channel into the operational application.
Maybe a first comment on that. Security is a field which is highly regulated, and of course when we speak about regulation, we speak about laws, decree or whatever documents to mandate the different actors to do something this way or something this way. Innovation is more something dynamic than regulation. So I would like that maybe you could comment how you can deal with that two aspects.
Certainly. We need both, as you probably will agree with me. We need on one side the new ideas, but on the other side the new ideas need to be consolidated so it becomes useful when something happens in a mission-oriented manner. So it is very applied, and so we need both. On the one side, as I said, we need those clever people, the researcher, those that are thinking out new technologies, a new way of doing things. But on the other side, if we want to be efficient, we need to standardize how we do things. So we need to have norms, we need to have standards, we need to have common operational concept, we need to have ways in making Europe to better act together. So interoperability, for example, is a big important thing, and we cannot have interoperability if we do not have common standards, for example. So that's why...
So innovation management is a mix of all that in order to progress faster
Exactly.
and more efficiently.
Exactly.
Alors maybe
Exactly.
we are going to have maybe three overviews about European project that you have funded, and maybe we could start with Axel to speak a little bit about what is InnoSec in few words, and how you apply innovation management maybe in InnoSec.
Okay, many thanks for this question. So the project InnoSec has started in February 2012 and will end very soon in January 2014. This project gathers 9 partners, 9 European partners, and the aim is settling an innovation model adaptable for each kind of security organization. When I say each kind of security organization, this is the public organization, the providers, but also the private organization, or also the association like the Red Cross, for example. What we have seen in the beginning of InnoSec is that innovation may be present in some of security organizations, but it's not well standardized or regulated. And those organizations have a real need to better organize their innovation, and the aim was to provide them like a handbook with a model easy to settle, easy for them also to understand, and that correspond to their needs.
Maybe
Yes?
a question. Innovation management probably is not the same also way or thinking between a private company and a research lab.
Exactly.
So how do you deal with that when you have different kind of actors or stakeholders?
Exactly. Well, we have built InnoSec within different modules. That is to say that the model can be settled completely in once, or so each module can be settled one by one. That is to say that it corresponds to each needs of each kind of security organization. For example, we have seen very currently that in public organization there is a problem with ideation. So the phase where we have to gather ideas, where we have to be creative. So there is a special module in the InnoSec model you can implement to foster this step. But we also seen, for example, in the associations that the innovation strategy as a whole is less worked. So there is also the possibility to settle the whole model, so that to enter in a whole process.
So finally, InnoSec will provide a couple of tools for the innovation management to other projects that could fail.
Exactly.
And so regarding InSec, so which is not very far from the acronym, but it's probably a fully different project.
Well, InSec project is also funded by European Commission, and it replied to the same call as the other 2 projects that are presented. It started 1.5 years ago. It's a 2 years project. It has 1.2 million euros of financing and 15 partners from 8 different countries, European countries. Inside the consortium, we are consulting companies specialized in innovation management and end-user companies, but also representatives of SMEs from European level. And the purpose of the project, we actually had 3 purposes. The first one was to build an innovation management model adapted to the security field. The second one was to create an open innovation platform which allows networking and collaboration between all stakeholders in the security activity. And the third one was to show best practices from other fields of activity than security, and to show them how they are applied in the security field.
So kind of complementary tool with InnoSec,
Yes.
more oriented on technology and stakeholders?
We worked differently on each of the projects, started working differently on their side, and we met a few months ago and we shared our results, and the good news is that we are all going towards the same direction. Maybe things are seen from a different point of view, but we consider that our findings are common, are going to the same goal, and we hope that more collaboration will be done in the future so that we managed to get a standardized innovation model for the security field. Why not?
Alors, Luigi, Archimede, between InnoSec and InSec, something fully different?
Well, the objective is the same, as you know. Innovation management is something that for us is quite linked to how to bring results of research and development to the market. So we really we have an approach which is really bringing development of the market, of the security market in Europe, in the different countries, supporting research center and industry. So Archimedes is maybe more closer to the market, and I would say more linked maybe to the policy or political approach rather than methodological bottom-up approach as the other two projects have. So we are really dealing with issues of discussing with the user and operator, because this is one of the objectives, bring them together, identify what are the operational needs, which can be then developed, brought up and developed with the research, but then really how to respond to the operational need, what are the priorities, and how to link all this together at European level, because one of the objectives is also to bring together the different organization at national level, like now we have seen today, the French, they have this filière industrielle de sécurité, but also something similar in other countries. Each country has their own expression of organization, and how to bring this together so they are the public, the private, the supply, and the demand side, and how to have a common view on research, but also the innovation, and bring this at European level. This is one of the objectives also of Archimedes.
I did a little bit of my homework also for preparing this talk show, and really a couple of gaps regarding innovation management in Europe come often. We speak about fragmented EU security market. We speak about fragmented definition of requirements in different countries, different organizations, political, administrative, organizationals, heterogeneous regulation between different member states, definitions, technology readiness levels, which are not exactly the same approach, and I don't speak about standardization and so on and so on. So also we had a couple of talks during this week where when I asked to the people, what do you think about the EU effort in research in security? A lot of said it's great. We love to do research, but we like market. We love market, and we found some customers without money. We would like that the EU fund also a little bit about project, not only research, but real procurement projects like the US did, for instance, at some point. So I would like to know how you think on those issues regarding the different, I will say, approach in Europe, which is by definition very different, very fragmented, and on the other way, the needs for a common market. How do you approach that?
It is, of course, a very difficult issue. We have to start, without wanting to sound stuffy, but we have to start as far back as the Lisbon Treaty. If you go back into the Lisbon Treaty, you will read that the responsibility for providing security to the citizens mainly lay within the individual member states. Now, the European Union, in this case, I work for the European Commission, has a certain role because individual member states cannot provide it in an efficient and effective way if they do it in an isolated way. We need to have a broader, we need to have a more common basis of providing security. The so-called freedom of movement leads also to the movement, to the freedom of movement of insecurity. We have to realize that. And so that's why we need to tackle this whole thing from the root itself. So the fragmentation of the market. We have the fragmentation that the radio that the police uses is different than the radio that the, for example, first responder use. And then we have the different systems in the different country as well. So we have fragmentation at a very broad level. We need to tackle that. At the same time, of course, we need to tackle as well that we need to provide, we need to motivate people to bring new solutions into this whole thing. And that's why it is very important for us to have this kind of project that is not really dealing with the research itself, but looking into the ways in getting more research, more requirement to be expressed by the end user, and all of that at the European level. That's perhaps is the biggest challenge.
Yeah, it's a kind of methodological and view of the market that help you to design and to shape future security for Europe.
Exactly.
What is the level between, and that may be both questions, but you could react, of course, to that. But politically speaking, is the view is really common between the member states on those issues of common European security, or do you have a so different approach that is more difficult to tackle?
It's difficult, of course. I believe the view is not that common. There are certain member states that think that we have our limits, and there is unfortunately still the thinking that while security is in the hands of the states, we need to be guiding the Commission very carefully in what they are doing, which is absolutely okay. However, of course, certain space to move and to shape the future need to be given. That's why the European Commission needs to work, and we are working very closely with the member states in shaping the future, but it will take time to shape the future because it is a brand new domain that is governed by so-called shared competences between the EU and the member states, and then we need to find out the modus operandi about who should do what, so we all can become very efficient.
Hello, Luigi. Yeah. What the industry is doing to help to shape this future?
Let me say that, just to come back to your question to Koen. You said the market is very fragmented, and innovation management also should help to decreasing this fragmentation. But the point is that Koen mentioned the member states. Of course, they have different point of view. The Commission trying to get them together with the dialogue with the industry, so the industry will help also in defining from the demand and the supply side what are the needs and what the possible technology solution. But the point is that, and we have seen it very clearly in Archimedes, is that each sector is also somehow fragmented. We don't have one unique approach for security, and this is a big complex issue, not only political, but also operational, let me say, because innovation management in one sector, for instance, in cybersecurity, in ICT security, is very different from the innovation management in border control, in civil aviation security. As you mentioned, security, you said security is highly regulated. In certain sector, yes. In other sector, not at all. So how you bring technology, development results into the market, the road is very different according to the different sector. And how you do this is not that easy. So this is one of the challenge.
Also, one of the challenge, we just finished almost the FP7. Of course, there's a couple of projects still going on, but the calls are closed now for more than 1 year. We are going to go to Horizon 2020. I would like to get maybe a roundtable of what do you expect from Horizon 2020 on research and security.
Well, first of all, in FP7, as you mentioned, we have over 250 projects and over 2,500 different companies participating in our project.
So it's a
and
good success.
It's, I believe, a good success. We could have spent a lot more money, that's for sure. On the Horizon 2020, I believe everybody will have noticed that security research is part of the so-called societal challenges pillar. It is important to realize that this is under the societal challenges, and it is not under excellent science, for example, because it is not science for just doing science, for the fun of doing science. It is not part of the industrial competitiveness pillar, because at the end, of course, we need the industry to be good, to be efficient, and to provide what we need. But at the end, it is the societal challenges, it is what we need to provide to the society that is main principal topic. So that's why it is under the societal challenges, secure society it is called. So that is what we are expecting, not less than that, contribution to provide security to the society.
Alors, how do you are going to link what you have done with the different projects with Horizon 2020? Are you going to follow up, and what the link you see between both projects? And for your organization, what do you expect from Horizon 2020?
Well, first of all, I think we will try to follow up what we achieved in InnoSec, and I assume also for INSEC. We will try also to provide our model that we developed to our organization, well, at least in Vienna, in Austria. And regarding the expectation of our societies for Horizon 2020, I would say maybe even more cooperation with different stakeholders for gathering even more viewpoints and maybe enrich then the development of security.
As for, let's say, INSEC point of view, but I will also speak about my organization's point of view. ALMA, a consulting group, we are working in helping our clients to access funding for becoming more innovative and creating innovative products and services at national and European level. We have more than 25 years experience with working in this field of activity, and we noticed the difficulty of accessing and reaching this European money for becoming more innovative. What we notice now, sorry.
To rebound on that, because that means that, do you think that for many companies today, EU funding on research and security is still a gap to reach? Or do you think that Horizon 2020 will be easier than FP7 for especially SMEs to reach the goal of getting a project?
Well, we are happy to know that Horizon 2020 is focusing very much on the SMEs, and this is something that is very much weighted from all SMEs around Europe, which is great. I think that there is still a challenge, which is making sure that SMEs are accessing easily this financing. So I suppose the European Commission is aware of this, and probably interesting solutions will be given.
We will ask Koen to reply, but maybe before Luigi, SMEs, large group, Horizon 2020, how do you think the thing works?
Well, the SMEs are an important part of already of the research panorama today, because I think they have more or less 20% of the present research project. So, but the large group they do need SMEs because they are very reactive, and anyway, the largest research group cannot do internal development. Internal development is very expensive, so they have to rely on SMEs. They have to rely on research center, and they have all to work together. So we have to develop this supply chain and create a stronger European products and services in several areas, and not depending on certain external, let's say, suppliers, especially on very sensitive and critical issues. This is very complex, but I think that in Horizon 2020 will give us the opportunity to reinforce the competitiveness of the European industry and of the research center, and bringing the results closer to the market. This is really what we expect from the SMEs and the large industry point of view.
I spoke about ALMA point of view. Now we try to explain what we also did inside INSEC project, because we created a platform of collaboration between SMEs and public security organization in general. And we see that we are disseminating this platform now, and we see it's a real need, and it's something that SME organization, they want to go towards the direction, and they need to work with big groups and with the public sector. So we are already working on this.
You are a good witness of the need of collaboration and how to access. So exactly what do you hope to achieve with Horizon 2020 in this new mix between SMEs and large companies, and more largely, what are the new rules, I would say, in Horizon 2020?
Well, but first of all, Cecilia bring up a very important point. It is the end user at the end that is very important that they also participate in our activity. Without the participation of the end user, we cannot be good. That's simple. Now, with regard to the SME, we have in FP7 20%, over 20% of our budget goes to SME, and that is good. In the Horizon 2020, there is a limit that 20% should go, and we hope to be even better next time. Now, what do we do in order to make them better? First of all, the rules for Horizon 2020 is simplified. So we hope to be able to attract more SMEs that are typically deterred by the European Research Program because of the bureaucracy that is there. The burden of administration. But so we have simplified that, and of course it is new. We will have to see how well we do that as the Horizon 2020 start. But then again, end user. Let me just spend a few seconds on end user. The end user relevant to internal security are typically not end user that think in advance about what they can or how they can do the work better in the future and what kind of equipment or technology or operational matters they should have for the future. So I think this is another important issue that we need to tackle. That's why we have these 3 projects, and we hope to bring in the result of this project into the Horizon 2020 as we start doing that. Now, of course, the best side effect that we hope to achieve in the Horizon 2020 is that we are bringing Europe's best together, SMEs, big companies, end users, so they become better. And we need to create the right kind of constellation. SME has their limitation. Large companies have their limitation. The end user, I spoke before. We need to get the right blend, the right mentality, and I think bringing all these people together hopefully will lead to providing better security for our society.
So maybe a word on this bringing together SMEs and large group, which will be one of the key of the next project. We have seen this morning first the topics, which are very wide, but anyhow, how do you think that the community of research is going to answer to Horizon 2020? Are you already organizing yourself for being in forming consortium, or or are you waiting a little bit?
No, we are already preparing Horizon 2020 very hard, and yes, we try to expand our network to SMEs because I think they are the key partners for the future and for, as I said, gathering new inputs. So, yes.
Same way, wider organization.
Well, we are 1,300 people in 9 countries in Europe. We have a very big database of SMEs. We know they are innovative. We know they are willing to participate to Horizon 2020 project, and we try to work together with them to bring them to this goal.
Luigi, maybe a word on Horizon 2020. What do you expect for EOS?
Well, EOS, our objective is not to set up project just to set up project. It's more to have this kind of, especially on the coordination and support action or support to our members, in order to bring forward a common views, a common strategy with the objective of developing and harmonizing the security market. So this is our main objective. So we don't go 360 degrees on all the projects, but we will select them very carefully, and so for, let's say, the benefit, first of all, of our members, and second, of the overall security community.
So this talk is coming to the end, but before, maybe Koen, I would ask you to remember us in few numbers what will be Horizon 2020, time, money, number of projects. What do you expect to reach in numbers?
Well, Horizon 2020 officially, of course, is not yet started.
Yes.
However, we know that we have great faith that it will start very soon. For the security research side, we hope to have a budget in the ballpark of 1.7 billion for the 7 years of the Horizon 2020, and that will include a very important topic which is called digital security, and that will get significantly more attention in the Horizon 2020 than it has been receiving so far under the FP7, because this challenge is becoming more and more important for the society. So I hope we get more people, I hope we get more end users, I hope we get more participation that is going closer into the implementation, into the use of the technology. We would like to go beyond what we are doing in FP7. We have implemented a number of mechanisms such as pre-commercial procurement under the Horizon 2020, where we would like to see how certain work being done either within the Horizon 2020 or outside Horizon 2020, how that can be brought closer to the operational by validating certain methodology, validating certain technology, comparing the one way against the other way of doing things to increase security. So there are a lot of challenges, and I'm really looking forward for another 7 years of EU research in this field.
Koen, thank you very much for this last word. Thank you to all for this talk. And the next talk will be on the same subject, but in French. So it will be easier for me. And so we will meet together, if you would like, at 3 p.m. this afternoon, so roughly in 1 hour. Thank you very much, and see you soon.